This is Soledar Direction. On this section of the front, Russian troops have just recently gone on the offensive again, but the attack was unsuccessful. As a result of the work of the Ukrainian defense forces, the enemy retreated, leaving armored fighting vehicles on the battlefield. In order to prevent the enemy from returning for it, a group of strike drone pilots leaves for the position. Their goal is to destroy what is left abandoned, as well as to hunt down Russian infantry.
We identify the infantry directly in flight, look for their movement and make it meet with
This group of pilots works at night. They use equipment with thermal images. They take a supply of both batteries and ammunition for drones with them. To prevent the enemy from detecting them, they try to properly camouflage their transport.
Volunteers from Ivano-Frankivsk sent us the escape. When covered with it, no thermal radiation is visible.
Once at combat positions, military personnel immediately begin preparing for the departure of a strike drone. The Russians nicknamed this night hexacopter Baba Yaga. The drone easily copes with enemy targets.
Starting with some kind of passenger car, ending with an armored vehicle, it strikes an armored personnel carrier easily. Well, it may not be enough for a tank, or maybe it will be enough, depending on how you hit it.
To prevent the drone's blades from becoming covered with ice during flight, the soldiers use pharmaceuticals.
I bought Vaseline at the pharmacy, so people there were very interested in why a military man buys it. They couldn't even imagine why.
This drone can carry 4 grenades in one flight. Ready to hunt, the drone rises into the night sky. Russian tanks were already destroyed during the assault. The task of strike drone operators is to find an infantry fighting vehicle in the dark.
There's an armored vehicle coming closer. Is this an armored vehicle or a tank? No, 2 tanks are there. We don't need tanks. The tanks have been destroyed. We need the armored vehicle. That's it. Throwing the grenades. Let's do it. Yes, there's a hit.
Having thrown off all the grenades, the drone returns to its position to change batteries.
After each flight, it doesn't matter if there's enough of it for another 10 kilometers or 500 meters. The battery needs to be changed. Otherwise, it runs down very fast on takeoff and landing.
After replacing the batteries and installing new ammunition, the drone takes off again to hunt. The soldiers say visibility is poor due to the dampness, but overall, they're satisfied with their work.
Considering the weather, the fact that visibility was poor and we were flying very low, today we burned 3 vehicles on the first flights, 2 more on the second flights, and we completely damaged another armored vehicle on the last 2 flights.
The operation of strike drones at the front significantly saves ammunition for Ukrainian artillery, and they successfully carry out combat missions where it is impossible to use aviation. Reported by Diana Kolesnik, Alona Hramova, UTV News.